All right, let's get it. Contrary to popular belief, they know. So, what is it that they know? Well, we'll soon find out. So, this video, I'm going to talk about and prove using biblical verses and Hollywood examples that the Most High, the Heavenly Father, is a person of color. So, I'm going to start with one that everyone's familiar with, the low-hanging fruit, the one that a lot of people like to argue about, and that is Revelations chapter 1, verse 13 through 15. And it reads, "And in the midst of the seven candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with the garment down to the foot, and girt about the paps with a golden girdle. His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were a flame of fire, and his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace, and his voice the sound of many waters." Now, a lot of people like to argue this and say that it's being misinterpreted. They like to say, oh, the white in this text is referring to the color and not the texture. A lot of people say, oh, burned brass is red, which really is molten. That's not burned, but semantics, right? So those are the arguments or the counter arguments that they like to make when it comes to this verse, to say that, oh, people are misinterpreting that. There's no way that this is talking about the color of his skin. Okay, cool, whatever. I mean, some people like that you're just not going to convince, so there's no need to argue with them. But let's move on and see what the next verse says. So now, going to Daniel chapter 7, verse 9. And it reads, "I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire." So now in this verse, it doesn't mention anything about his hair being white like wool. It says his hair is like pure wool. They don't have a counter argument for that. That sort of puts the nail in their coffin when they talk about, oh, it's not talking about its texture. Yeah, it is kind of talking about its texture. So now, let's go to another verse that sort of refutes that argument about skin pigment or skin tone. Revelations chapter 4, verse 3. And it reads, "After this I looked, and behold, a door was opened in heaven, and the first voice which I heard was as it were of a trumpet talking with me, which said, Come up hither, and I will shew thee things which must be hereafter. And immediately I was in the Spirit, and behold, a throne was set in heaven, and one sat on the throne. And he that sat was to look upon like a jasper and a sardine stone. And there was a rainbow round about the throne, in sight like unto an emerald." So, that sort of blows their argument about his skin tone out of the water, now doesn't it? So there are verses addressing the texture of his hair. There are verses addressing the skin pigment, right? But you get those arguments about, oh, he's olive colored. Well, olives are green or black. And I haven't seen any green people walking around planet Earth. I'm just saying, you know. So, I know I don't usually get biblical on my videos. I try and just talk about current events or things that pertain to everyday life. But I just had a feeling that I needed to address this. I always see the arguments and I see the bickering back and forth, and I just wanted to wanted to add my input, I guess. Right? So moving on. So there are many actors who have portrayed God. And I know that, there's those verses about we're not supposed to have any images or likeness of anything in heaven. But there are several black actors that have portrayed God on film, starting with Rex Ingram in the film called Green Pastures that was made in 1936. And I actually have seen this movie, and the entire cast is actually black. Not just God, everyone. The angels, everyone is black. It's actually a really good movie. If you can find it, I mean, sometimes it comes on Turner Classic Movies, but if you can find it, watch it. It's pretty good. Next, Whoopi Goldberg. Whoopi has played God twice, as far as I know, in a film called A Little Bit of Heaven with Kate Hudson. That was in 2011. And in a Muppets Christmas movie in 2002. Now, I don't get down with Christmas. I don't celebrate Christmas and all of that stuff, but I'm just saying, coincidence? Maybe, maybe not. The next example, Octavia Spencer. She played God in a movie called The Shack in 2017. I've also seen this one as well. It's a pretty good movie. Take it for what it's worth. I mean, eat the meat, spit out the bones, as they say. But I mean, like I said, if you got just a little time to kill, you can check this one out. Pretty good movie, pretty entertaining, has a good message overall. But again, is it a coincidence? Maybe, maybe not. We're all familiar with Morgan Freeman playing God in those silly movies back in the day, right? With Jim Carrey and Steve Carell, Bruce Almighty and Evan Almighty. I mean, the great Morgan got the voice, but look at the white woolly hair. Look at the eyes in this picture. Huh? Flames of fire. I mean, didn't they say that Jesus or Yeshua was a wine bibber? Red eyes. I mean, isn't that like a side effect of drinking too much, is that you get red eyes, etc.? Just saying. Some of these things are not that coincidental. Some of these things you just have to have an open mind and an open heart and not be such an antagonist and try and find fault or trying to find reason as to why certain things are not true. And the last example I have is Dennis Haysbert, who's playing God in Lucifer. Now, I don't watch a show called Lucifer. I just I can't get down with it. Just the title alone is a pure turn off, right? I don't want to watch anything called Lucifer. But yeah, Dennis Haysbert is actually playing God in Lucifer. which I think is currently airing on Netflix or something like that, you know. And I know it's like supposed to be like a comedy or something like that, but still, just not my cup of tea. But if you guys watch it or you guys want to watch it, I mean, you know, more power to you. But I'm just saying, here's another example of Hollywood casting a person of color, or let me just be blunt about it, a black person as God. Coincidence? I think not. So that's all I have for this one. I'm going to leave it there for now. If you like the way I think, hop over to Patreon. Check out some of my original short stories. It's only $1.50 per download. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you won't miss out on our future videos. And like always, I thank you for your time. Peace.